The Republic of Ireland has voted overwhelmingly to overturn the country's abortion ban, with nearly two-thirds of the final vote. Currently, abortion is only allowed when a woman's life is at risk, but not in cases of rape, incest or fatal fetal abnormality. Yes campaigners at Dublin Castle, to hear the results confirmed, hailed the decision as a much-needed change.
We've been working so hard for women's rights for so many years now, and we can see it's finally coming true.
Ireland has finally grown up, face the fact, don't shift it abroad, deal with it here safely. For me, for my daughters and my grandchildren.
Well, the debate has been hard fought on both sides, with the Catholic Church among those leading the opposition to liberal abortion laws. But what relevance does it have to people here in England? One anti-abortion campaigns group says it will add pressure on British authorities to become even more liberal in their attitude than they currently are. Liam Gibson is from the Society for the Protection of the Unborn Child and joins me on the programme now. Liam, good morning to you.
Good morning, Blair.
First of all, and briefly, your reaction to the referendum result, overwhelmingly in favour of a relaxation of the laws.
This vote, very sadly, is a value judgment on the lives of all children who are judged to be imperfect, unwanted, or simply inconvenient. So, coming after 50 years of abortion in Britain, and the Irish people having seen what it's done to British society and knowing what abortion does to women, to have chosen this route and they follow the British model of abortion is really quite disturbing.
The debate has caused, and I know that the debate has caused a big divide between the two sides on this. Should the aim now, do you think, be to bring people back together? The result is there. We live in a democracy. Thank God we live in a democracy. The result is there. Is it time for the result to be accepted and the two sides to come as one? Or is that now impossible, do you think?
That was never going to be an option. I mean, the yes side said that they wouldn't accept a no vote, that they would continue to lobby for what they wanted. Certainly, you cannot simply accept an abuse of human rights simply because public opinion says that it should be lawful. So if this was, for instance, a vote to introduce slavery to Ireland and 66% of the people voted for it, that wouldn't make it right. And certainly when it comes to the elimination of children before birth, that's never going to be right, even if it's popular opinion of the people. You know, so it won't. Certainly, there won't be a coming together. It'll actually be even more divisive of Irish society than it is at present.
So, do you see campaigns, demonstrations by groups such as yours in the near future?
I'm sure that the Irish pro-life movement is actually quite significant, and that's one of the reasons why this result is such a surprise, because well over 100,000 people demonstrated on the streets of Dublin to object to the government's proposals. You know, so there's not an insignificant amount of people. The yes side, while it has the political establishment, the entire media, the trade unions, the universities, big abortion providers like Mary Stopes and British Pregnancy Advisory Service, Amnesty International, and huge foreign interests behind it. It was never a grassroots movement, so it is quite surprising that this result has been quite a high margin as it is.
There is a part, and it's always difficult talking about this sort of subject, isn't it? Because it is so emotive. Because many would say it deals with a human life that is being created. Nevertheless, there is the thought, isn't there, that this was nearly two-thirds of the people who voted in favour of the relaxation laws. There needs to be some acceptance of that, doesn't there?
There's an obvious recognition that of what the people have decided to support, but that doesn't mean that you have to accept something that is an abuse of human rights. As I already said about, if slavery was on the ballot paper, it wouldn't make it right to introduce slavery simply because most people didn't have an objection to it. So it's a question of winning back public opinion, of trying to introduce a way that people can understand the humanity of the child before birth. That there's a heartbeat at 21 days. By 11 weeks, the child can smile and has complex facial features and expressions. And also the devastating impact that abortion can have on women themselves. Very often women have abortions because they're forced into it by circumstances or coerced into it by abusive relationships. A woman who has an abortion in England, for instance, is 6 times more likely to be in an abusive relationship than a woman who's undergoing antenatal care. Okay. So there's big complex issues in the decisions that individual women make. The disturbing thing here is that the Irish people, in cold blood, have decided to allow for the killing of children on a massive scale, with the full knowledge of what it has done to British society.
All right, Liam, we must leave it there. I'm very grateful for your time. Very interesting to talk to you about it on the programme. Liam Gibson from the Society for the Protection of the Unborn Child.